All right, so before I get into the actual video, what I want to make a point of is how I'm sitting. And when you're going to restrain a rabbit, you need, especially if they're big, support under your legs, because they're going to ooze right out. And so it's really hard to keep constraint of one on your own. And so like this one is technically like a tool trunk for a garage that I bought it on auction, but you could build one yourself. I'm sitting as far back as my knees will allow so that there's support right here. And I'm going to flip the rabbit over and she will be below there. Okay. All right. So in my last abscess video, I got a lot of questions about like follow-up and checking the foot again or the abscess area again and how to know if you need to re-clean it. Because a lot of times you do. And it's hard to know, is it healing up right or is it needing reopened and there's still actual like gunk inside. So before I jump into that, I want you to see like I've got all of the supplies that I need ready to go. So there's the essential oils that I'm going to put in the wound. She's got one on her front foot. And so then there's paper towels to wipe up some of the gunk, but I'm also using baby wipes that are just a little bit damp. And so I'm finding are helping grab the infection that comes out. So that is also helpful. I'll flip the camera around and so you can see what her feet look like, how I'm going to evaluate it and what that looks like. All right. Okay. So I'm not going to do it super long, but right now this is what the day after I cleaned it out looks like. So right now her foot still has some swollenness around it. So it's pretty clear that there's still some gunk in it, but what I see is definitely some more softness, which is good. And what happens when I squeeze it a little bit, what I see right here is there's still some creaminess to this little part of the scab over here. So that tells me that it still needs to be opened up and cleaned out. But also the way I can tell is that her foot is flat here. So I can put my thumb in the bottom of her foot and not have feel any lumps. So that shows me what's normal. And then it's still kind of big over here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and peel that scab off and see what I can squish out. So I am trying to do it one-handed, which is not always ideal, but there's the scab from yesterday. So now, if you're able to, try and cut off some of that fur to help clean it out, keep the infection away from the area. All right, so I see a little bit of infection, but it's not that much. I think I did a really good job yesterday. So what I really want you to be able to see is this right in here is almost enough to where you could just add a little bit of treatment and not have to open it up again. All right, I ended up opening it up a little bit more and then it is going to bleed for a minute and that's okay. She'll be all right. And then I just want to make sure there's nothing. I still feel like there's a little bit underneath because there's still enough of a lump. Okay, so we got a little bit out, like a small little speck, but it's really looking good. So I want you to see like there is a little bit of blood, but that's all right. That's like that's very little. And if you do get a few drips coming out, it's okay. So try and hold it like that. And I'm going to put, this is tea tree oil. I would rather lavender oil, but this is what I've got right now. But I just want to put some kind of dry or antibacterial, some kind of oil in there. I don't use a cream because that puts something on the wound to make it gunky. Okay, so that one cleaned out very well and I was really happy about it. So unfortunately it did give me the example that I wanted to give you, but what we're looking for is like there was a little bit of cream. It was almost like the tip of your nail and that was all that was in there. I was able to get that out and there was a little bit of blood, but it was all right. It wasn't anything crazy. Really what you're worried about is like if you can't seem to stop it and it'll slow down a little bit. You wipe a few of the drips away and it'll slow down. But with that said, then I just put the oil on there. And the reason I don't want to do like antibacterial cream or something like that is because they're going to get straw, they're going to get fur, they're going to get gunk held to it. And so you don't want that to happen. That will just make this vicious cycle. And so the reason I like essential oils better is because it's a dry, like obviously it's liquid, but it's not a gooey thing that's going to keep it there. Essentially the oils help dry it out first and still treat it versus keeping it warm and mushy and the skin wet and it won't scab over as well either. Okay. So that's why a lot of the creams and things like that don't speed the healing as well. So what I'm going to do now, especially since I didn't get that much, I'm going to let her go for almost 2 days and see how well the swelling goes down because you are aggravating the foot and she's a 14-pound rabbit, I think. I don't think she's 15 yet, but she's a very large rabbit. So she's putting a decent amount of weight on it too. So in a situation like that as well, you can give them a resting mat, and that'll help them have a place to keep their weight off of it, and they'll just, French Lops are lazy anyway, so she's going to be just chilling out there with it, okay? This is what her foot looks like after 3 days of letting it rest. So it's a nice red scab. I'm trying to get as close as I can. There is a little bit of tan there, but I think it's okay. And when I put my foot, or my, I'm sorry, my thumb here, I don't feel any lump under the skin. It's just a little bit of swelling and things like that. So I think if you can let it rest for a day or two, if you think you got it all, make sure the swelling goes down, and then you should be all good. But there is a little bit, but I still think it's swelling. Like, it was pretty swollen 2 or 3 days ago, but my thumb can fit completely in her foot with no lumps, so I'm happy with that. I'm sure in about a week or so, it'll be healing up and looking nice. Looking to get a French Lab rabbit? You can find all the details as far as the links in the description, but since you're still here, let me explain how it works. You can choose to pick something and wait just to see what comes available on the for sale page, or you can get on the wait list, which is $75 to do so, and that $75 is applied to the total of the rabbit that you choose, whatever the pricing may be. When you're on the wait list, you get first priority as far as the order of which you all came in on the list. So the other bonus for that is if you're looking for something particular, a buck, a doe, a certain color, driving distance. I don't have a problem using a transport as long as you set it up and they are able to come here to pick them up. If they are going very long distance, like across the country, we can hold off and keep them until about 10 weeks rather than the 8 weeks. As far as when the kits come available, I usually start evaluating around 5 weeks old and decide the first couple that are able to leave at 8 weeks, which those typically will be priced around $150 to $175. Most of the time there is nothing wrong with them, it's just I can't keep all of them and grow them out to see which ones will be good show prospects. So the ones that just don't make that first cut, they get to go soonest, and then right around 10 to 12 weeks, I'll do another evaluation and see who I want to keep even longer, and potentially the ones that keep it to phase 3 are the ones I'm looking at to grow my herd itself. So those are going to be the best prospects, and those typically are going to be let go around 4 to 6 months old. The price phases of each phase is, like I said, about $150 to $175 for that first phase. Phase 2 is about anything above $175 to $200, and then $200 to $250. Everything comes with a pedigree and an ID number tattooed in their left ear, so they are ready to show. If there are things that maybe I don't think is desirable about them or anything like that, I'm completely willing to tell you that. We can talk about it through email or DM. And if you are just wanting one as a pet, that is completely fine. You don't have to show them. You just have a great quality animal that is a great pet.